Hey, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be discussing, or I guess you could say talking about, my NECA God of War 2018 Kratos figure. As you can see I have right here in this box. Now I have already been kind of planning on kind of getting this one, because I was always saying that, I was like, I'm going to eventually get that anyway. Because I also had the actual video game that this particular version of Kratos is based on. And here's the game right here, and this is a superb, excellent game too. I really did like this a lot, This is very good, and this also won Game of the Year too, because I actually got it when it was actually first released. I even had it pre-ordered, so I actually picked it up, I think the midnight release if I can remember correctly. So yeah, it's a very good game. So the Kratos, this particular version of Kratos is actually based on that particular God of War, because they had other Kratos figures too as well from like NECA, and I actually had missed those, Now as you can see, this is the box that Kratos comes in, and I actually like these boxes too, They're not really as good as like the Ultimate boxes, because the Ultimate where you can open them up, but I think these boxes are kind of cool for like NECA figures, Now it says that on the front, as you can see, it has God of War, and it says Kratos at the bottom, and it has like an image of like from the game itself, actually the cover of the game, which has Kratos and Atreus on the cover. So it has that same image. It also has like a PlayStation logo sticker too on it as well, that you can see, that kind of reflects. And on the side it says that Kratos features 36 points of articulation, a Leviathan axe, a dagger, and a shield. So he really doesn't have much. But I guess like one of the main things that's kind of, I guess, interesting about the figure itself is that it has like 36 points of articulation. And I think as far as NECA figures go, as far as the ones I have, I think that's the one that has the most articulation. I don't think I've ever seen one with that much articulation, so I am kind of curious about that. Now on the back it also says, his vengeance against the gods of Olympus far behind him. Kratos now lives as a man in the lands of Norse gods and monsters. It is in this harsh, unforgiving world that he must fight to survive and teach his son to do the same. So of course I like the storyline behind the game itself. And on the back it shows like an image of the figure itself too as well. And like one of the bosses and stuff from the game, and it shows the trash over here too. So I'm going to open this on up and take it out. As you can see, this is the background that Kratos comes with too, which is like from the cover, like the cover of the video game. The same cover right here, as you can see at the background. As you can see, there's the Kratos figure, and of course this is based on the 2018 video game, like I said, which is a very good game, for the PlayStation 4. So as you can see, this is him, So what I'm gonna do now is actually like measure him. And he's actually like 8 inches too. He's not like a normal size like NECA figure, which are mostly like 7 inches. Kratos is actually like 8 inches. And I actually have him on a stand too, so yeah, he's like about 8 inches. So that's kind of interesting, being that he's such a large, figure, So I guess now what I do is, I just, being that he doesn't really have, you only have like 3 accessories, and I think some of them could be kind of split open and stuff, so I'm going to wait on that. What I do is just touch on like his articulation. Now, as you can see, like I said, I think this figure is like the one that I have the most articulation with too as well, as far as my NECA figures go, because this has like 36 points of articulation. Now, I do kind of notice, like with mine, I think I probably just got to get them right, like I'm having trouble kind of standing Kratos. But I probably eventually just get him right, Now, I didn't loosen him or anything, so I won't be surprised if I can't bend everything on him, But as you can see, like his knees can be bent. You can do stuff like that, Even the other knee can be bent or leg. As you can see, Kratos' arms can be bent. And I think you can actually bend it all the way up from what I saw like in some videos. I guess I should have loosened him a little bit, But as you can see, you can bend them like that, And I guess like this other arm, it kind of has like a limitation to it. being that it's like his arm is on. I thought this armor was so cool. Like in the video game, this is the one I most said, whoa, you know. And I actually like upgraded it throughout the game, you know. And here his head, like Kratos' head can be like turned, you know, left or right, you know. You can bring it up. You can like tilt it down, you know, so on. Even all the way around, you know. Now I notice his waist, it has kind of limit to it, you know. You only could turn like that. Of course, you know, you can do the splits too. There's his feet, they can be like turned too as well. And even the hands can be like turned too, as you can see. Another thing too, the detail in this figure is like just actually amazing, you know. This really does look kind of like Kratos looks like in the game, you know. And you know this time that it wasn't yeah, Terrence C. Carson, he actually voiced Kratos like in the from like 2005, like the first game, to 2013, whereas this new version right here was actually voiced by Christopher Judge. So yeah, they actually changed voices for Kratos, you know. But like his like look, you know, it looks exactly like he does like in the video game. So I think they did a good job with that, you know. Cause it looks exactly like how he looked, like this, the wounds, like the tattoos, the scarring and stuff. I think that's cool. Even like his beard, you know, like how his beard looks, you know. Being this is like an older Kratos in this particular version. He even has like the longer ears too as well. I know Kratos had kind of like smaller ears like in the other God of Wars, you know. I like how it's like you can see the muscularity in him too as well. Like you actually can see his nipple too as well. You can see, you know, the abs and stuff. He even has a scar on him from in the games too, right there on his abdominals. And like the detail like in his clothing is superb too, you know. One of the things I think is cool about this is the actual like the back of it too as well. Like these accessories, we would think that you can actually pull these off, you know, like this horn thing right here, this bag and stuff, even like this right here for like I guess the knife, and even this pouch right here, you know, like you can actually be able to pull those off, but you can't, you know. And then even like the skirt, you know, I think that's kind of cool. Like the long belt hanging too, you can actually mess with that too, the belt. Even like the clothing around his legs and stuff is like good and stuff too as well. You can see like glimpses of like the chains that was on his arm, like it's from his blades, you know. I think that's cool. And they also had this on the back too, which is like the God of War logo that they have. And I think this is for like your axe, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So now what I do is talk about the accessories that Kratos has too, you know. I like how you can see like this this right here is actually like his main weapon in the game, you know, which is known as the Leviathan axe. And this is an awesome weapon in the actual video game. I thought this weapon was so cool. You can like throw it at anything, you know, and then call it right back to you into your hand. It's so awesome. You actually can throw it in the game and leave it there and run off to like another part of like the world, and you left your axe in that area, you know, and then you can call it, you know. It was so awesome the way they did this in the video game. I like the detail on it too as well. You also can see those like switch things right there too on it, which in the game actually have like different colors if I can remember correctly, you know, which was telling you which part of the feature of the axe that you was using, if I'm not mistaken. Like those two blue switch things. Even on the handle, they got that detail like on the handle to itself. I think that's like a horse, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I think you can also take this apart too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can actually take this axe apart, as you can see. And I think what you can do with it, the reason why they have it like that is I think you can put it back here on Kratos' back, if I'm not mistaken, right there in that little hook. I think you just stick it in like this, cause you couldn't put it in unless you took it apart, you know. And voila, yeah, you can actually hook it to Kratos' back. That's awesome, you know. You would think that was for like the shield, you know. This axe, like the Leviathan axe of parts, actually put it in Kratos' hand too as well, so I'm going to try that. And of course it can only be done in the right hand too. See, there's Kratos with the Leviathan axe in his hand. Awesome weapon, like I said, like in the video game, that was such a cool weapon, you know. Now I actually had to use like a hairdryer to actually loosen Kratos' hand, to actually put the axe in his hand, you know. Cause it does like it makes sense to actually just take it apart like this. And then you slide it out his hand, you know. Voila. And as you can see, here's another accessory from Kratos, which is his actual dagger. Very cool looking weapon. And I think this can actually be put on Kratos' like his back here. As you can see, there's a knife pocket. You can actually put it in there if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can put it in here. As you can see, there's the knife inside of Kratos' I guess you could say pouch, knife holder. Right there. Accessory that Kratos comes with is his actual shield, which is another like awesome kind of device in the game. And you can change this, you know, you get like various different kinds of shields throughout the game. So he had other shields besides this, you know. But I like the look of it though, it does look awesome, you know. And it also has like this thing right here, you know, because you would think that I could hook on like the back of Kratos, like back here. With a God of War logo, well it looks like a God of War logo, but that was actually for the axe, you know. You would think it can go back there, but it doesn't, you know. To actually place Kratos' shield on him, you would actually have to, if you look at his like left arm right here, there's like this thing here, but you can like open up. You can take one of these out. You can actually see it kind of, it's kind of like open, kind of, you know. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, see, as you can see, that can actually open up. And you take that out. And as you can see, there's like an opening inside of it. And then what you do is actually hook Kratos' shield on. This probably is how I would display him, like with the shield, you know. Yeah, as you can see, there's Kratos with the shield on. So it's like this little piece right here that you have to actually take off his wrist. And you have to be careful with this too, because I can easily see losing this, you know, because it's so small. But as you can see, there's the Kratos on him as well. I mean, the shield on him. Okay, there's my NECA God of War 2008 Kratos figure, 7 inches, you know. Well, actually 8 inches, I'm sorry. And of course, this is based on this particular version of Kratos from this PlayStation 4 exclusive video game, which is excellent, you know, a very superb game. Also won Video Game of the Year, too, you know. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this figure. Now it has like 36 points of articulation, so I think this, as far as like NECA figures go that I have, has the most articulation that I have ever seen, you know. If I actually had loosened up with like the hair dryer or blow dryer, I probably could have seen like the extent of how, you know, how much articulation that Kratos does have, you know. But I would definitely recommend this figure, you know, it's a superb figure, you know. Especially if you're a fan of Kratos or of this particular version of Kratos, you know, which is like an older Kratos, you know. So yeah, please leave a comment and subscribe too as well. Boy.